Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, David. How are you? I cannot recognize you. David Otero is a really good friend of mine. He's been working for Multiplica for 13 or 14 years, not bad. And for the last 4 years, he is the development team lead for our team in Multiplica US. Although he's based in Barcelona, I think that right now you are in Miami. Are you?
Yeah, right now I'm in Miami. I'm side by side with Chris. You can see him here.
Okay. Okay, nice. David is gonna provide us a quick snapshot of key points that should help us to determine what are the best tools that we could decide in order to start testing. So all yours, David, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, David, for your introduction. So you can see my screen. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, today I'm in Miami. I'm usually based in Barcelona, and today I'm going to talk with you about tools to use in conversion rate optimization. But before we start, let's talk a bit about analytics tools. So just as Chris was saying, analytics are super important, and to properly engage in any optimization project, we first need to understand what is happening and how the website or app is performing. That's why it's important, and the first stage must be to use any of the existing analytics tools. And if you don't have one, don't worry, you can still optimize, but it's better if you have one to understand how everything is going and how are you improving your current experience. So here are some of the tools that we use at Multiplica. Again, we are tool agnostic and we are happy to use any tools, but those are some of the ones that we use most often. So we have Google Analytics, which is known by almost everyone today. And then we have Adobe Analytics, Core Metrics, and we also have Piwik, which is an open source alternative. And if you don't know it, I recommend it. It's open source, which is free and nice. So then once we already have get a hold of your data, you move to the actual optimization part, which is these. We have these different optimization tools, and we need to rely on some of the existing tools. And these are some of the ones that exist in the market. They are in no particular order, not even alphabetical, so there's no preference there. And today we will be reviewing some of them. So the idea is to review from basic tools to an enterprise-grade tool. Before we go, let's talk a little bit just the optimization rule. So if you are in today's webinar, I think that's good because you are probably already thinking about optimization. And that means that you are already past the monkey phase or the not testing phase of this image, and you are moving towards the middle, which is the sweet spot, or even going to the dark side, which is awesome if you are. And that's it for the route. And then for today's fight, or no, I mean session, I have selected 3 tools. Convert is what we call a starting point tool, price-wise and function-wise. Then we have Optimizely, which sits in the middle. It's an intermediate tool, but it's growing and aiming to become more enterprise grade level. And lastly, we selected Monetize, which is clearly focused on the enterprise market. So let's take a look at Convert, which is the starting one. This is a screenshot of its homepage, and the keyword I wanted to highlight here is affordable. So that's why it's a starting tool. It's affordable, so it's cheap and it's a good point to begin testing. The way Convert works is that it structures it's a structure in project where each project would be a website. So if you have more than one website, it's cool. Within project, you have what they call experiences and goals. And this is something that is different for each tool, the naming. So in Convert, they are called experiences, and in Optimizely, as you will see, they have another name. And then here's a screenshot of goals, because as I was saying, analytics is important. So is goals in an optimization tool. You need to really understand what's happening and if what you are doing is actually improving or not the experience for your users, and that is why you need to define goals. So each tool has a different way of calling them and defining them. This is convert, and you have some set of predefined goals, and you also have a way of defining, and I think the screenshot is, sorry, you have a way of defining an advanced audience with different parameters. So you might target a mobile user, which is somewhere, and different variables. And here is a summary of an experience in Convert. And as you can see, you have the experience itself with the what, then you have the goals, and you also have audiences. Audiences is what Convert calls the targets for your optimization experience. Lastly, we have the reporting, which is actually another important part of any tool. It's, okay, we define the goals, but then after we launch the test, we need to make sure that those goals are performing, and that is done with the reporting tool. The Convert reporting tool does a nice job of displaying how everything's coming along. You have a chart, you have a table with the data, and where each goal is a column. So it's okay. And that's it for Convert. Then the next contender in the fight, sorry, is Optimizely. And let's take a look at it. This is the screenshot of Optimizely's homepage. And as you can see, they advertise it as a personalization tool, which differs from what we saw in Convert. So they aim to personalize your website or app. They are structured in a similar way to Convert, with projects, and within the project they have experiments. So it's a different naming. And within the, no, sorry, not within. They also have what they call the audiences, the targets, and here you can see different conditions that you can use to define these audiences. In this screenshot, you see all of them are kind of available, but Optimizely, the way it works, it's not open for all plans. So if you have a starting plan, the cheaper one, you won't get access to all of these variables. So that is something to take into account when using a tool, is what the flexibility of these targets. Then this is the way Optimizely work is that you need to define pages in which you will run tests or experiences or experiments. Sometimes I get confused between tools. And then the goals are tied to the pages. So you have you define a page, maybe it's your home page, and then your home page will have different goals, which is visits to that home page, but you can also define goals like click events that are specifically tied to that page. This is how Optimizely works with events. This is a screenshot of the visualization. It's kind of similar to what we saw with Convert. As you can see, you also have a chart and you have a table with all the goals. They're pretty similar, and Optimizely relies a lot in, and we can see it in the next slide, in third-party integrations. These are some of the tools you can link to Optimizely. One of them is Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, and there are others. And Optimizely likes to rely a lot on your Google Analytics implementation to show data. So that's something to take into account. Our last contender today is Monetate, which, as I was saying, it's more like an enterprise-grade tool. And what they state on their homepage is that Monetate wants to focus on personalization. This is the first screen. Once you log into Monetate, you are greeted with this dashboard. So you can see the difference here in how they present themselves once you access the tool. Convert and Optimizely were more like focused on the experiment, but Monetate shows you a dashboard with what's happening on your site, what do you have running, how are they performing, etc. And this is what Monetate calls an experience, which is an experiment, or an optimization, yeah, experiment. So Monetate defines an experience with kind of a sentence way. You have a who, a what, a when, and why. So the who will be for who is this experience. So that's the targeting, the audiences. Then you have the what is going to happen with this experience. Then you have the when is that going to happen? You can schedule a meeting. Then you have the why. Why is it happening? That's where we could define our goals. We can take a look at targeting, or as Optimize, we call them audiences. So in Monetize, you have different target types based on different parameters. There are quite a lot. Then we also have the why. So these are the goals. You can select more than one metric to track in Monetize, and this is the screen. And then we get into the reporting. And as you can see, this is the most different tool. So Convert and Optimize were kind of fairly similar. And Monetize is more, it's different. It's not more, it's different. So it shows the data in a table manner. And you can get more details if you click on any of the metrics. You can get more details and look at more charts similar to Convert or Optimize. And so with this, we finish with the review of the 3 different tools, and then we get the big question, how to choose. And that is a great question. That's why we built this table to highlight some of the features for each tool to help us compare based on these different features. So as you can see, the first 4 things we have in this table are the A/B testing, multivariate testing, split URL testing, and visual editor. 3 tools have that, so that's like super basic stuff. Then we get to users, and we have some kinds of limitations in Convert and Optimize, but Monetize has unlimited users. Reporting, as we saw, Convert and Optimize are basic or not great, and Monetize is more neat, it's more professional, if that's, yeah, it's more good looking. The targeting, or the why as Monetize, no, sorry, the who as Monetize said, is basic in Convert and Optimize, and Monetize is greater at that. Then none of these tools has any heat maps. They can all have some kind of click tracking. It's easier in Monetize because the main difference is that Monetize doesn't account for user sessions or page visits to your site, but Convert and Optimize, they run on that. So when you buy a package, you are limited to 100,000 page views to experiment, and that's not the same with Monetize. So then we have personalization, which Monetize is better suited at that because you have a limitation of page views, and all 3 tools allow you to do mobile testing. Then we have this other table that highlights more advanced features to compare these 3 tools. So we have geo-targeting, Optimize and Monetize have that, but not Convert. We have segmentation, all of them can do that with audiences. Custom targeting, it's not as, no, Convert is not good at that. Optimize and Monetize they are. Number of users, support. So here's the table, it's interesting. So with that being said, which tools should you start with? And that's also a great question. In our opinion, you need to try to balance the cost of the tools and the solutions they provide. So probably it's wise to start with a minimum in terms of cost and keep upgrading until you find a sweet spot where you are using a tool to its full potential. So if you start with a super cheap tool and in 2 months you are using it to its full potential, then you maybe need to upgrade to the next step and continue doing so until you find a nice balance between money and what use are you getting out of the tool. And with that being said, we have a new tool in town, which is Google Optimize. And that's been a great addition to the market. It's actually free. So maybe a good recommendation for you if you are new to optimization and testing, it's try it. It's free for now. And it's super tied with Google Analytics, which is good because you have a nice reporting suite available for you. And yeah, that's it. That's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to email us.
Thank you, David. We have several questions for you. Jose Francisco Astorga is asking us if there is a single analytics tool to map the entire customer journey.
If there is, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, he's asking for an analytics tool that could help a company to track like the whole customer journey.
Yeah, I guess any analytics tool can help you do that. If you set up it properly, I think you can use any analytics tool.
So it's about the configuration or the implementation. Exactly. You can do it with Google Analytics, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We have another question. Based on your experience, which is the best tool? If you have to choose.
That's a tricky question. I don't know. The best tool, it depends on what you expect it to be. So you need to try them out and find the best for you.
Okay, okay. But which is the tool you recommend to start with?
As I was saying, for now, I would recommend to start with Google Optimize because it's free and you can get running super fast.
Okay. And how difficult is to start like implementing this tool? Which is the knowledge you need to have in order to start testing?
If you already have Google Analytics in your site, using Google Optimize is super easy. And even, I would say more, if you have Google Tag Manager, it's even easier. So if you are in the Google Analytics ecosystem, having Optimize is super easy and quick.
Okay, okay. We have more questions for you. Someone is asking about Qubit. Qubit, yeah. What's your opinion of this tool?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Yeah, Qubit is more like an enterprise-grade tool. I like it. So yeah, it didn't make it the good today's presentation, but it's a good tool. Yeah.
But can you give us a better idea of what can we use this tool?
Yeah, it's on the level of monetary, so it's more enterprise. The problem with Qubit is that it's more complex to set up, so it requires more IT time to get rolling, and that is a contra to if you want to start working fast and quick.
Okay, one last question from Carla Miranda. She's asking, does it take a deep programming knowledge to set up these tools?
It depends, as I was saying. With Qubit, you need some IT. With the rest of the tools, mostly no, because it's just tagging. So if you can add a tag to your site, you can get one of these tools fast. And if you have Google Tag Manager already and you want to add Google Optimize, it's super easy. It's not recommended, but to start and to play with it, you can do it using Google Tag Manager.
Okay, okay. David, thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you. I know that you traveled yesterday, so probably you are a little bit tired. So thank you very much. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
So let's switch back to